My beloved child, whom I have called by name before the first light ever shone. Listen carefully to my voice amid the chaos of this world, for even now, beneath the meaningless noise, I am still whispering. My voice does not thunder like storms or roar like tempests. It moves gently like a breeze across still waters, but whoever has ears to hear will understand. You are the one I am speaking to, the one who stays awake through the night, wrestling between faith and doubt. I have seen you there in the darkness, guarding that fragile flame within your heart so it will not go out. You thought I had gone far from you, but in truth I have never been nearer than I am at this very moment. How long has it been since you allowed the noise of the world to drown out the voice within your soul? You have been running, striving, proving yourself, and with every step you drift farther from the center I placed inside you. You try to grasp something to fill the emptiness, yet the tighter you hold, the more your hands are left empty. You search for peace in people, in success, in applause, but true peace is not found there. True peace is not when the wind stops blowing, but when you realize I am with you in the wind itself. I was there when you fell from exhaustion, there in the sighs you were too weary to speak aloud. I have heard every heartbeat, every silent sob. Not one tear you shed has fallen unnoticed by me. You once cried out, "Lord, why do I feel lost within my own life?" And I answered, "But you did not yet hear." I have spoken through circumstances, through stillness, through interruptions in your plans, yet you mistook them for failure. My child, sometimes I stop you not out of anger, but to protect you from what you do not yet see. Some dead ends I allow are not prisons but safeguards against the abyss. You call it delay, but I call it mercy. You call it collapse, but I say, no, I am rebuilding your foundation. I have watched every stage of your growth, not only of your body but of your soul. I have seen when your smile faded, when the light in your eyes dimmed, when you began to question your worth. You started believing you were just another soul drifting in a crowded world. But I tell you, you are not an accident. You are intentional. Before the world was formed, I carved your image into my thoughts, not only your face, but your soul, your heartbeat, your dreams. Every detail in you exists for a reason. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Jeremiah 1:5. So when you feel small, when you believe the world has forgotten, you remember it was I who chose you among the multitudes. I entrusted you with a mission no one else can fulfill. You carry within you a spark of eternity that no darkness can extinguish. Yet you have allowed fear to wrap that light in ashes. Now I come to breathe my breath upon you again so that the embers may blaze anew. You think you are too weak, but it is in that very weakness that my strength is revealed. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 1:2-9. You have walked through long nights without sunrise, believing I had abandoned you, but I never left. I was the footsteps beside you when no one else remained. I was the warmth in your cold tears. I was the unseen hand holding you when you thought you would fall. You think you are alone, yet you are surrounded by my love. It's just that your eyes have not adjusted to its light. Sometimes you must let darkness remind you that light still exists. Sometimes you must lose your direction to discover who the true compass is. Look back, my child, on the journey you have taken. There was a time you loved me with a pure heart and said, "Let your will be done," but the world began to pull you away. You did not intend to betray me, you simply forgot how to listen. Among the noise of ambitions and expectations, you lost the sound of grace's gentle whisper. I have called you many times through dreams, through small and seemingly random moments, through songs, through words from others that pierced your heart, and you called it coincidence. No, my child, nothing is coincidence in my hands. Everything is an invitation. Every moment is my way of finding the path back to your heart. The world has taught you to be strong enough to need no one, But I tell you, this true strength is born in surrender. Power of the soul does not come from hardness, but from yielding. You think surrender means defeat, but in my kingdom it is victory. When you lay it down, I lift it up. When you stop, I advance. When you fall silent, I speak. Do not fear losing control, for in truth you never had it. You are only trying to grasp what belongs to me. There are treasures within you that even you have not yet seen, gifts unbloomed, words unspoken, dreams I planted that you thought had died. But seeds do not die when buried. They are hidden so they may rise stronger. I have allowed dry seasons so your roots would grow deep. I have let some people leave so you could learn to stand alone with me. I have let your plans fall apart so you would discover that the only unshakable foundation is me. Do not fear the breaking, for only from the fragments can I sculpt your truest form. You asked me, why is everything so hard? And I said, because you are called to something greater. Not everyone is forged by fire, but those with purpose cannot be molded from wax. You have been trained to endure, to persevere, to believe when every reason to believe is gone. That is not punishment, it is preparation. You thought I was testing you, but I was equipping you. Every wound becomes a doorway to compassion. Every time you rise, another soul finds strength through your example. Understand this, no mistake is beyond grace. No road strays too far that I cannot find you there. Even when you hide yourself in darkness, my light still reaches you. I do not love you because you are perfect. I love you because you are mine. You do not need to earn my love. You only need to return. I do not ask for offerings. I ask for your heart. When you give me your heart broken, torn, or trembling, I will do what no one else can. I will turn ashes into glory, tears into testimony, and wounds into the gates of miracles. My child, time is too short to live halfway. I do not want you to believe in me only in theory. I want you to experience me in truth. You must know me not only with your mind, but with your soul. When you pray, do not only speak, listen. When you read my word, do not only learn, let it soak into your very being. When you walk, do not merely move, live as though every step is walked beside me. I am not far above. I am within you. My kingdom is not in some distant realm, it is being established in the heart that yields. Rise now. Shake off the dust of doubt. Step out of the comfort zone of compromise. I am calling you to a place where the voice of your soul is louder than the echo of fear, where tears are not signs of weakness, but the rain that precedes blooming, where dreams once buried are resurrected in new light. Return not to begin again, but to continue what I have never abandoned. For I am still writing your story, and the next chapter will shine brighter than anything you have imagined. My beloved, when I look upon your life, I see beyond what human eyes can see. I see into the depths of your soul, where prayers remain unspoken, where desires still sleep, where fear and faith wrestle hour by hour. It is there that I am working. You think you are standing still, but I am moving everything around you to bring you back to your ordained place. Sometimes I must tear down what you thought was solid so I can rebuild upon my rock. Sometimes I must let you lose what you love to show you who love truly is. I do not take away to leave you empty. I clear the space for what is new. There are things you cling to, not because they are good, but because you fear the emptiness without them. You have grown so accustomed to chaos that peace unsettles you. You have lived in darkness so long that light makes your eyes ache. But I say to you, the time has come. The time has come for me to cleanse what no longer belongs to you. You have prayed for restoration, but restoration cannot come while you still clutch what I am asking you to release. You long to enter a new season, yet you still wear the garments of the old one. I cannot pour new wine into old wineskins. So if it feels like loss, do not be afraid, it is purification. If doors are closing, do not panic, it is protection. And if you hear only silence, do not think I have stopped speaking. It is because I am quieting the noise around you, so that only one sound remains, my voice. I know you have tried. You have prayed with all your strength, endured through pain, and persevered through tears. Yet even in your faithfulness, I have seen the hidden corners you have not dared to touch, the habits you think are harmless, but are quietly draining your life from within. The connections you know I have not blessed, yet you fear to cut them, lest loneliness come. The lies you've been hearing every day, lies that say you're not enough, that you've missed your chance, that I only love you when you get it right. My child, those are not my words. My voice does not shame, it heals. My voice does not corner, it opens the way. My voice does not make you hide, it calls you home. When I called Moses, he said he was not capable. When I called Jeremiah, he said he was too young. When I chose Gideon, he said he was the least in his family. Yet those very ones I turned into instruments of my glory, for I do not seek perfection, I seek willingness. You think I am waiting for you to become strong before I can use you, but no, I am waiting for you to surrender so that I can be strong within you. You see your limits, but I see your potential. You see brokenness, but I see the chance to create something new. You see a shattered vessel. I see the jar that is about to hold my glory. Let me wash your hands clean from the things that have bound you. Let me touch your mind where voices not of me have taken residence too long. Let me sweep the hidden corners of fear, so that the light of truth may pour in. When I cleanse, I do not polish the surface, I change the substance. Like gold in fire, you do not lose value. When you are refined, you shine more brightly. You are not burned to be destroyed, but to be purified. Do not fear that process. My fire is not like the fire of the world. My fire does not consume, it sanctifies. I know there are things within you not easily released. There are wounds you've carried so long you no longer notice you are still bleeding. There are pains you've learned to coexist with instead of letting me heal them. But now I am placing my hand upon those very places. I am leading you through the land of your memories, not to wound you further, but to show you I was never absent from those days. When they hurt you, I stood beside you. When you wept in silence, I bent low to listen. When you thought it was the end, I was already writing the next chapter. No wound is wasted when placed in my hands. There have been nights you prayed and heard nothing. You thought I was silent, but I was rebuilding your inner walls. There have been days you grew weary of believing, yet it was then your faith was being forged. You asked me, why must I face so many trials? And I replied, because I am teaching you to discern the true voice among the false. I am teaching you to choose the eternal among the temporary. I am teaching you to love me, not for the miracle, but because I am the miracle. Do not let this world make your heart hard. Do not let weariness turn you into a skeptic. Do not let pain make you close your heart. You were created to feel, to love, to weep, to believe. Your sensitivity is not weakness. It is an antenna tuned to heaven. It is what allows you to hear what others miss. You think yourself too fragile to survive this world, but truly that very fragility is proof that you belong to another kingdom, one not built of iron and stone, but of love and light. Now I am preparing a new season for you, not a surface beginning, but a transformation from within. A season where you no longer live to prove, but to reveal. A season where you are no longer driven by fear, but led by peace. A season where you will no longer ask why, but declare I trust. Yet to enter it, you must leave behind everything that no longer aligns with the glory to come. You must learn to be still when I speak, to obey when you do not understand, and to trust when you cannot see. What I am doing to you is not punishment, it is preparation. No storm is meaningless, no tear is wasted. I am teaching you to live from the inside out, not ruled by circumstance, but guided by the Spirit. When you stand in the storm and still keep your peace, the world will notice something different in you. When you lose much, yet still praise, darkness will tremble. When you forgive instead of retaliate, heaven will smile. Let me carve your name again upon this heart as the promise I have never forgotten. See, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. Isaiah 49:16. Nothing can separate you from my love, not failure, not the past, not the enemy, not the darkness. I have paid for your freedom with the blood of the Lamb. So do not live as a slave to fear, to sin, or to shame. Step forward as one forgiven. Rise as one who is sent. Breathe deeply, for the breath within you is mine. My child, this is not an invitation merely to live better. It is an invitation to live true. I do not desire empty rituals. I desire a burning heart. I do not seek performance. I seek sincerity. I do not ask you to do more. I ask you to be present fully consciously with me. When you work, invite me into your labor. When you eat, give thanks for the breath that sustains you. When you walk, know that each step is sacred. Nothing in your life is ordinary when I am present. And now I ask you, not with the tone of authority, but with the voice of a father calling a wandering child, are you willing to let me make you new? Do you dare believe that I still have a plan for you? Do you dare open your hands so I may take the old and place the new? If you are willing, even a single yes is enough to move heaven, for every miracle begins with the consent of the heart. My beloved, when your soul has been cleansed, I desire to lead you into something deeper: restoration. Not merely healing the wounds, but restoring your true identity, the one that fear, time, and the world have tried to erase. You believe you've lost too much, that some things can never be recovered. But today I tell you, I am the one who restores the years the locusts have eaten. I can summon life out of ruins. I can turn ashes into holy incense. You need only believe that what was lost has never gone beyond my reach. I have seen the years you've lived in, regret, the weight of guilt echoing in your heart. You've asked yourself, if only I hadn't done that. If only I had chosen differently. If only I had listened to God sooner. Those ifs have chained your soul. But my child, I do not dwell in ifs. I will dwell in now. And now is the moment when I can rewrite everything. You cannot go back to your past, but I can enter your past and heal it. I can touch the memories you dare not revisit and turn them into witnesses of grace. You do not need to erase the past to begin again. You need only let me enter it. When I step in, every pain becomes a piece of redemption's mosaic. My child, nothing is meaningless in my hands. Every tear you have ever shed I have kept. Every prayer that seemed forgotten I have recorded. Every time you stood up after a fall, angels rejoiced. You thought you were merely surviving, but in truth you have been forged to become a bearer of glory. The wounds you suffered were not meant to diminish you, but to open your heart to the pain of others. I am turning your weakness into an instrument of mercy. You were chosen not to be perfect, but to love with wounds that have been healed. When I say to you, rise, it is not a cold command, it is the call of life. As I spoke to Lazarus in the tomb, so I now speak to your soul. My child, come out of the grave of fear, out of the chains of sin, out of the ashes of disappointment. You have dwelt too long in the land of almost free, almost believing, almost at peace. But I have not called you to live almost. I have called you to live in fullness. I do not give half a light. I give the Sunday. I do not give a partial blessing. I give abundant life. You thought a miracle was when mountains move, but the true miracle is a heart made soft after many hardenings. The miracle is your forgiveness toward those who hurt you. The miracle is your trust that I can bring the best out of the worst. A miracle is not avoiding the fire, but walking in it without being consumed. And that is precisely what I am working for you. You will not come out of trials without their marks, but those marks will testify to glory. I know you fear beginning again. You fear that if you trust once more, you will be hurt once more. But my child, faith does not guarantee ease, it guarantees my presence. You do not walk alone. Every path you hesitate to take, I have walked ahead of you. Every valley you must pass through, I have already placed my footprints there. You need only follow the light I give, even one small step at a time. At times I do not show you the whole map because I want you to trust the guide more than the road. This is not an invitation to return to what was, but to step into what is deeper. You are no longer who you once were. Every lesson, every tear, every silence I allowed has prepared you for this moment. Now you are called not merely to live, but to lead. You are restored not only for yourself, but to become a restorer of others. The light I have placed within you is not for you alone, it is to illumine those still wandering in the night. I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Do not despise the fire within you. Do not think your voice is too small. When you speak truth, darkness must yield. When you pray, heaven listens. When you love, my kingdom advances. The world will try to silence you, but I say, do not fear, for I am with you. As I was with Job in the ashes, with Jonah in the belly of the fish, with Daniel in the lion's den, so I am with you in places where no one else dares to go. And there, precisely there, I will magnify my name through your life. I now place in your hands a new promise. There is nothing broken, I cannot mend, nothing ruined, I cannot make new. When you hand me the fragments, I return to you a redeemed future. When you give me your tears, I give you a song. When you give me your failure, I place a testimony in your mouth. You once believed you were only ashes, but I see a seed of life within the ashes. And when my wind blows upon it, it will ignite. This flame will not burn you, it will light your way. Now I speak to you, step out and do the very thing you fear most, not because you are certain, but because you trust. Forgive even while your heart trembles. Speak even if your voice is small. Go even when the path is still dark. I do not require perfection, only readiness. When you step, I will open the way. When you are weak, I will be your strength. When you fall, I will lift you up. You cannot ruin my plan for you, as long as you keep seeking me. My child, let faith return to your breathing. Let hope sprout again where it once withered. Let the light in your eyes blaze as at the beginning. For this is not merely a return, it is a rebirth. I am calling you out of the ashes to become a bearer of light, and when you stand, the heavens will witness it. Angels will shout for joy, darkness will retreat, and your soul will know that every pain you endured has led to this moment of calling, of restoration, and of being sent. My child, open the ears of your soul, for what I am about to speak is not for you alone, but for a generation asleep in the daylight. I have called you, and through you I am awakening others, those whose hearts still beat to the rhythm of heaven, though their lips have been silent too long. This is no longer merely a personal story, it is a summons to my people on the earth. For the world is sinking into chaos, and the light of mine within you is the only lighthouse that will stand. You are not the only one being touched. You are the bell that signals the dawn of revival. The world is splintering. What humankind once trusted as solid now shakes. Truth is diluted. Justice is bought. Love is reduced to a bargain, and mercy is turned into a tactic. People chase false lights, believing in the mirages they paint for themselves. They speak of freedom, yet live in chains. They preach peace, yet harbor fear. They raise their towers high, thinking they can touch the heavens, not knowing their foundations have rotted. I look upon this world and see multitudes lost, not because they do not believe, but because they have believed a lie. And so I am raising a new generation, those who do not come to debate, but to shine, not to dominate, but to serve, not to stand out, but to reveal me. My child, you are in the current of this rising. You are awakened, not merely to be rescued, but to become a lamp in my hand. Do not think this is beyond you, for what I am doing does not depend on your strength, but on my spirit within you. Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit. Zechariah 4:6 is a word as true today as ever. I am seeking hearts that will say, "Here I am, Lord." No eloquence required, no title, needed only a willing heart. For when I find a surrendered soul, I can change a generation. The time has come for the children of light to step out of the shadows of compromise. Too long have my people been silent while injustice spreads. Too long have they chosen comfort over righteousness, blending in rather than standing apart. But now I am calling them back, not to fight with sword and spear, but with truth and love. I am summoning voices that will not tremble before power hearts, that will not bend to public opinion. You and those like you were born for such a time as this, as Esther was born for her moment to save her people. Do not call yourself small. One prayer can shake a city. One honest voice can tear apart a web of lies. One act of genuine love can drive back the night. You ask me, Lord, what can I do in a world so tangled? And I answer, you are the answer. I did not place you in the midst of the world to be absorbed by it, but to permeate it with my glory. Light is not afraid of darkness. Light needs only be present. Therefore, do not wait for perfection to stand. Stand amid your imperfection, for there my power is revealed. Do not wait for another to begin. Be the first spark. Lift your voice, even if it trembles, for when you speak, I speak through you. Remember, the awakening I am stirring will not be found in gilded sanctuaries or elaborate rites, but in humble hearts that hunger for truth. I will visit places no one expects, in the dark rooms where the young search for meaning, on street corners, where the poor plead for hope, in lecture halls, in prisons, and across the unseen webs of the digital world. I will come through simple words, small acts, and songs that rise from souls I have touched. You will see revival does not begin with a crowd, but with one person willing to kneel. My child, I did not call you to build your own kingdom, but to expand mine. Do not measure the worth of your work by the size of the stage, but by the sincerity of your heart. A single honest prayer can open heaven's gates, while 1,000 empty declarations do not move me. I do not seek display, I seek presence. I do not desire those who only speak of me, but those who truly know me. The world has heard enough sermons. Now it needs to see transformed lives. They need to behold living light, not eloquent words. And that light, my child, dwells in you. Do not fear your smallness, for I often choose what is weak to shame the strong. I choose what is overlooked to display my glory. I once used Moses' staff to part the sea, David's stone, to bring down Goliath, and 5 loaves with 2 fish to feed thousands. So, can I not use your life, though small, though unfinished, to accomplish something great? You need only place it in my hands. Now listen to the trumpet sounding in your soul. It does not echo through sound, but through awakening within you. I am calling my people back to their first fire, the fire of selfless love, of pure faith, of devotion without condition. I do not need a large army. I need a pure one. And you are part of that army, not to conquer others, but to win their hearts through mercy, not to impose, but to set free, not to condemn, but to bring hope. Do not be afraid when you find yourself in battle. This battle is not yours, it is mine. You need only hold your ground, clothed in the armor of faith, wearing the helmet of salvation, and wielding the sword of my word. When you speak my words, darkness retreats. When you stand in truth, heaven stands beside you. Do not back down when the winds grow fierce, for I am your strength. And when you look around and see other souls awakening, those once silent, now beginning to sing, those once fallen, now rising, you will know that this is the hour of revival. It does not begin in politics or power, but in hearts that know how to weep, how to pray, how to love. I am raising a new people, not branded by religion, but marked by my spirit. They will not merely say, "God is with us," but their lives will prove that I truly dwell among humankind. My beloved child, amid the thickening night that covers the world, a fire is burning, not a fire of destruction, but of awakening. It does not begin in brightly lit halls, but in lonely souls kneeling in the dark, whispering my name through despair. That fire, my child, I have kindled in the hearts of the weak, so that the world may know my power depends not on human strength, but on surrender. You are one of the keepers of that flame. Guard it well, for the darkness will try everything to extinguish it. I see your weariness. I see the nights you lie awake when faith feels like a thread and hope like a dying ember. I see when you want to quit, to fall silent, to escape the weight of the spiritual burdens you carry. But my child, it is in those very hours that the true flame is tested. I do not need candles that shine only in calm weather. I need torches that burn through storms. My fire does not fear the wind, it needs the wind to blaze stronger. And if it feels as though everything around you is being shaken, know that it is my breath stirring your soul. People do not light a lamp and put it under a bowl, but on a stand, so it gives light to everyone in the house. Matthew 5:1-5. The world is searching for torches like you, though they do not realize it. They do not call it holy fire, they call it difference. They do not see it as calling, they call it unrest. They try to quench what they cannot define. But do not fear, my child. Keep the flame even when misunderstood. Keep burning even when isolated, for there are things that can only be born in sacred solitude. I once called Moses in the wilderness, Elijah in the cave, John in the desert, and Jesus in Gethsemane. Every true mission is forged in silence before it is revealed in the light. Do not be surprised when trials come in waves. Darkness does not attack what does not threaten it. Each time the battle intensifies, remember it is proof that you are touching territory the enemy fears to lose. He does not fear empty prayers. He fears prayers that burn. He does not fear those who read my word. He fears those who live it. He does not fear those who sing about me. He fears those who carry me in every breath. That is why he seeks to make you doubt. He cannot take your gift, but he can try to make you stop believing in it. Be alert, for the enemy's assault in this age is no longer crude, it is cunning. He no longer roars like a lion. He whispers in the mind, "Have you done enough? Are you sure God is still with you? Have you seen anyone change because of you?" Those words are not mine. My voice does not plant doubt. It plants faith. When I speak, you will feel peace, even if nothing around you has changed. When the enemy speaks, you will feel turmoil, even if all seems calm. Learn to discern. Listen for the rhythm of heaven, not the noise of the world. You have been chosen to carry fire, but do not keep it to yourself. Share it. Go to the souls grown cold and rekindle their belief. One word of comfort from you can spark another's flame. One act of small kindness can melt a heart long frozen. Be not the one who warms temporarily and leaves, but the one who ignites others to burn. When you light another's fire, you lose nothing. You only shine brighter. That is my secret. The fire that is shared never dies, it multiplies. My child, I am searching for those who carry fire without fear of being burned. Those who dare to live fully, to love without condition, to believe when there seems to be nothing left to believe in. You think the world does not need such souls, but it is precisely because there are too few of them that the world has grown dark. Wounded hearts do not need philosophy, they need warmth. Lost souls do not need reasoning, they need light. My child, let your life become the answer to the silent cries no one else hears. Let the fire within you be the sign that I am still at work among humankind. Remember, this fire cannot live without fuel. The flame of my spirit in you must be fed through prayer, through my word, through stillness in my presence. You cannot ignite others if your own fire has gone out. Spend time with me as a candle dipped again into the living flame. Let me pour fresh oil into your soul so that your fire will not fade when the night grows long. For your calling is not to burn quickly, but to burn faithfully. I do not need a flash of light. I desire endurance in light. When you walk through the night, remember that night is only a passage, not a destiny. No dawn ever comes without darkness first, and no soul is ever used for glory without first walking through the shadows. Believe that even in the darkest hours I am working. When you feel nothing, I am still writing. When you see nothing, I am still arranging. When you think you are silent, I am shifting the world around you to prepare for the moment I send you forth. Be alert, for the harvest season draws near. The flame in you is not only to shine, it is a signal that the time has come. My people are rising. They carry not the name of religion, but the mark of my presence. They do not speak by logic, but by power. They do not argue with darkness, they simply shine. And as they walk in unity, darkness loses ground. I am gathering them, the ones the world has dismissed, the broken, the forgotten, the rejected. They are my quiet army of light. You are part of that army. Prepare yourself. Do not despise the small days. Do not overlook humble beginnings. I often begin in silence, then shake the nations. One truthful voice can tear through centuries of deception. One heart set aflame by my spirit can alter history. And if you are hearing these words, it is not by chance, it is confirmation that you have been chosen to bear the flame in the night. My child, keep your eyes on me. For no true mission can be fulfilled without true love. When you love, you reflect on me. When you forgive, you open the door for miracles. When you sacrifice, you move heaven itself. And when you still choose to believe in the dark, you make the darkness tremble. So burn on my little torch, for you are the proof that light still triumphs over night. My beloved, pause for a moment and feel. You do not need to see with your eyes or hear with your ears. Let your soul grow quiet, for something is happening that only the awakened can perceive. A wind is rising, not the wind of weather, but the wind of my spirit, the wind of renewal, of restoration, of a new era being born. It begins softly like breath, but soon it will surge like a storm. It does not blow to destroy, but to purify. It does not come to frighten, but to awaken the souls that have slept beneath the ashes. From the beginning of creation, wind has always been my sign. When I formed mankind, I breathed into Adam's nostrils, and he became a living soul. When my people were trapped between the sea and their enemies, it was the strong east wind that blew all night and parted the waters so they could pass through. When Ezekiel saw the valley of dry bones, he heard me say, "Come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live." And the wind came, and they rose to their feet, a vast army. And now I am breathing again, not over distant plains, but into your spirit, into weary cities, into silent churches, into generations that have lost their first fire. What does this wind carry? It carries transformation. It carries a call to return. It carries new life to what you thought was dead. There are dreams you buried, callings you believed extinguished, longings you thought you were too weary to pursue. But my wind will make them live again. It will sweep across the dry fields of your life, and you will hear the rustle of resurrection. You will see small shoots break through the ground you thought barren. That is the sign of renewal. That is the proof that I have not finished your story. Do you hear it? My wind is not loud, yet it is mighty. It carries the fragrance of heaven and the echo of ancient promises. It says, "This is not the end, it is the beginning." It reminds you that I am still working, even when everything seems to fall apart. When the world believes all is collapsing, that is when I am creating anew. As the unborn child must rest in darkness before birth, so my work too is hidden but unstoppable. I am calling my people back to their roots, not to gaze backward in regret, but to recover their first breath, the breath of truth, of love, of humility. My wind blows without favoritism. It does not choose by rank or status. It seeks hearts that are willing, those broken yet longing, those weak yet faithful, those wounded yet still loving. They will become the flutes through which I breathe. The melody that comes forth may not be perfect, but it will touch heaven. Do not fear when the wind comes and overturns what you once called familiar. Do not think I do so to punish, but to reshape. Every strong wind brings shedding, dead leaves are carried away, decayed branches are broken off, but true roots remain. My wind comes to separate the real from the false, the living from the dead, the spiritual from the fleshly. Let me blow through your life, my child, until there is nothing left in you that resists me. When you stop trying to control, when you cease striving, when you say, "Your will be done," that is when you will feel the freedom no storm can take away. You have prayed for a breakthrough, but you did not understand that breakthrough does not come in calm, it comes in wind. You have asked for miracles, but miracles cannot grow in unshaken soil. My wind must come to stir you, to loosen the hardened ground, to uncover the seeds of life I planted long ago. Do not resent the wind, it is the answer to your own prayers. Do not fear when you lose footing on old foundations, for I am setting you upon a new one, the foundation of living faith. I am blowing across nations, across borders, across systems that once seemed unshakable. Human empires are trembling. Kingdoms built on lies are collapsing. I am awakening people, stirring in them a thirst for justice and truth. The cries from the earth, from the seas, from cities and villages are rising together like a chorus of longing, and within that symphony my wind moves. It carries an ancient promise but sings it in a new song. My child, do not try to control the wind. You cannot catch it, you can only yield to it. Just as the kite soars only when it surrenders to the breeze, so you too will rise when you learn to trust me. The wind will take you to places you never imagined, to meet souls you never expected, to do works you once thought impossible. I have not called you to safety, I have called you to truth. There you will see me more clearly, hear me more deeply, and live closer to my heart. When the wind blows, it carries the meeting of heaven and earth. I desire you to be the tree standing between two realms, roots deep in the soil, branches lifted toward the sky. You will become the bridge between the temporal and the eternal, between humanity and the Creator. Every word you speak, every act you do, every breath you take can carry the sacred wind to another. You do not need to understand the whole plan. You need only be faithful to your part. When the wind passes through you, I will do the rest. Proclaim this: my wind cannot be stopped. No wall, no government, no doctrine can imprison the wind. It will pass through the narrowest cracks and touch those who seemed beyond change. It will come to the children, to the sidelined, to those who have never heard my name, and they will feel it. A new swell is rising, a swell of grace, a swell of mercy, a swell of restoration. And in every crest of that swell, the holy wind sings the song of freedom. Do not think my wind is reserved for faraway places. It is blowing through your city, across your roof, into your very heart. Open the window of your soul and let me in. Let me carry away the dust of worry, of sin, of fear. Let me breathe life again into cool dreams, into weary faith, into frozen love. When you allow me to do this, you will realize I never left. You need only open your heart, and the wind will do the rest. Now I say to you, be ready for this. Wind will not cease. It will blow until every human kingdom bows before my kingdom. It will blow until prayers are no longer mere ritual but living breath. It will blow until hearts melt before true love. It will blow until the flame of revival rises to the four corners. And when that happens, you will know I have kept my promise. I have come, not in the storm and not in the fire, but in the gentle wind, tender yet unstoppable. Keep your heart soft before the wind. Let me teach you how to listen when the wind shifts. Do not cling to the way I moved yesterday, for today I am doing a new thing. My wind never repeats itself. It always carries freshness, it always carries life. And you, if you walk with the wind, you will never grow stale. You will remain a bearer of heaven's breath in this world. And remember, my wind does not only pass over you, it moves within you. You are not merely one who is touched, you are one who is sent. When you go, carry that breath with you. When you speak, let your words carry the fragrance of heaven. When you love, let your love become proof that I am still blowing, still loving, still living among humankind, my beloved child. Pause amid your hurried steps where you are running, without knowing where you are going. Be still, for I am calling. This call does not come from outside, but from the deep place within your soul where I planted a seed of remembrance, a sacred fragment from the beginning. That fragment still whispers in your heart when night falls, when you stare at the sky and feel an emptiness you cannot name. You think you are searching for answers, but truly, you are seeking the way home. For no soul can ever truly rest while far from its source. You are not merely flesh, not merely thought, and certainly not a number in a crowd. You are my breath, living proof of my love shaped in human form. Each beat of your heart echoes the cadence of mine from the dawn of creation. You exist, not by accident, but by intention. You are a note in the symphony I began before the sun first rose. So when you feel lost, it is your soul longing to return to the original rhythm of the universe, my rhythm. Since humanity left the Garden of Eden, the call return has never ceased. It resounds in the wind, in tears, in the empty spaces nothing on earth can fill. You have tried to fill it with success, with romance, with knowledge, even with trust in yourself, but each is only a passing shower over a desert. Not because these are not good, but because they are not enough. Nothing is enough except me. When you separate from the source, you may go on existing, but you will never truly live. You have forgotten the inner voice, the voice once gentle as morning breeze, the voice that guided you in your earliest days. You have let the world speak for me. Be stronger, prove yourself, overcome everything, and so you are tired. Not tired from doing too much, but tired from forgetting why you do anything at all. You have forgotten that the true purpose of life is not conquest, but communion. You were made to walk with me, not to run alone. I do not blame you for drifting from me. My heart grieves only when you believe you are unworthy to return, but never believe that lie. You need to meet no standard to come home. I do not require offerings, excuses, or perfection. I ask only for a true heart. Even if it is broken, I want it. Even if it is dust-stained, I still see the ember left within. Even if it is scarred, I call it a place where I can dwell. A broken and contrite heart, O God, you will not despise. Psalm 5, 117. You have never truly lost me. You only turned your back to the light, but the light has never gone out. It still shines, still waits, still shows the way home. The moment you lift your eyes, even for an instant, I am already running toward you. I do not wait at a distance, I run to meet you. For I do not want you to return in shame, but in love. That is the difference between a slave and a child. The slave returns out of fear. The child returns out of longing for the Father. Here, this returning is not retreat, it is rebirth. No one can bear true light who has not first returned to the source. Water is pure only as it runs back to the spring. A tree is green only when its roots hold the soil. So it is with you, your soul is strong only when it clings to me. Do not seek strength in willpower, seek it in surrender. Do not seek peace in success, seek it in my presence. Do not seek meaning in human approval, seek it in my gaze, the gaze that never changes. There are things you thought you understood, but only in returning will you see clearly. You thought love was merely giving. Truly, love is abiding in me. You thought prayer was many words. True prayer is being still and knowing that I am God. You thought faith meant feeling no fear. Truly, faith is continuing to walk even when you are afraid. You thought returning meant going back to the start. Truly, returning is finding again the unchanging essence, the image in which you were made. I have never been as angry as you imagined. I am not a deity waiting to punish. I am a father waiting to embrace. If you knew me truly, you would not run. I do not rob you of joy. I remove what is killing your soul. I do not demand perfection. I invite honesty. Your truth, even if broken, even if stained, is worth more than 1,000 false prayers. Where there is truth, there I am. When you return, you will begin to hear the heartbeat of heaven. Its rhythm is not the world's. The world hurries. Heaven is patient. The world grasps. Heaven gives. The world praises success. Heaven honors faithfulness. When you live in me, you no longer need to prove yourself. You need only abide. Abide in me, that is where you truly belong. Every struggle, every longing, every effort grows light when you are in the right place within my arms. Come home, my child, not as a failure creeping back, but as a son or daughter who has found the way. You need not say much, I understand your silence. You need not do much, I have done all that is needed on the cross. You need only whisper, I want to come home, and heaven will erupt in joy. 1,000 angels will sing the song of return, and I will wrap my arms around you and say, my child, you were dead, and now live. You were lost, and now are found. You will see that when you return, I do not merely restore you, I recreate you. I do not merely cleanse the wound, I give you a new heart. I do not merely repair, I bring forth what has never been. What once caused you shame will become your testimony. What once made you fall will become your strength. I will use the very things that once humiliated you to glorify my name. Therefore, do not erase your past. Let me rewrite it with grace. I know the journey home is not easy. You will face yourself the parts you tried to forget. But do not fear. I will go with you. I will lead you through the fields of memory, through the wounds, through the disappointments you thought you could never cross. You do not return alone. I am the way, the light, and the breath on every step you take. Here is your passage translated into English in the same divine, contemplative, and flowing tone, maintaining the intimate I, you voice and rhythm throughout. Do not come and go. Root yourself deeply in, my love, so that the winds of life cannot uproot you. Stay until you understand that everything you have sought outside has always been found in me. When you remain, you will live differently. You will love without fear of loss, give without demand, and believe without needing proof. You will live freely not because there are no more bonds, but because every bond has been transformed into love. Do not forget, returning is not an event but a rhythm. Each day you must come back to the source, remember to whom you belong, and let me remind you that you were never random. Every day, step out and return as breath goes in and out. Only then will your soul move in harmony with my own breath. Now, I do not merely invite you to return. I am bringing you home. My wind is blowing, my light is shining, and my heart is wide open. You need only take one step and I will take care of the rest. I will greet you with peace, clothe you with kindness, place upon your finger the ring of belonging, and drape upon your shoulders the robe of grace. For you are my child, not because you are good, but because I love you. Listen carefully, my child. The time has come to return. Return to the source, to the breath, to the truth, to me. For only in me will you know who you are, where you come from, and what you are called to do. And when you truly return, you will understand that all the years of wandering were not wasted. They were the path that led you to realize there is no home but my embrace, my beloved. The journey home does not end at the door, it begins there. Returning is not merely stepping out of strangeness, but stepping inward into yourself, where I have long been waiting. Many believe they have come back when they stop running, but truly they have only paused. I want you to go deeper to the roots where darkness once hid, where fear once ruled, where unspoken memories still echo. There I will meet you not to judge, but to heal. Do not fear the darkness. It is not your enemy. It is a quiet teacher. It teaches through silence, but its lessons are etched deep into the soul. Stay long enough to see that darkness has no real power. It exists only until you bring light. Darkness cannot defeat you. It can only trick you into believing you've been abandoned. But I tell you, you are never alone. I am in the night with you. I know every breath you take, every sleepless hour, when no one understands every word you whisper to yourself. I know, and I am there unmoving, unshaken. When I lead you on this journey, I do not promise ease. I only promise you will never walk alone. You will face what you have avoided, memories that make you flinch, faces that reopen wounds, dreams unfulfilled that still ache. But remember, I do not bring these things back to torment you. I bring them into the light to heal them in love. No wound is too deep for my grace to reach. No sin is too great for my mercy to cover. For years you have buried your pain, hoping time would make it disappear. But time does not heal, only light does. You have covered your wounds with smiles, with work, with busyness, but they have continued to bleed in silence. Now I want to draw out the arrow, not to hurt you more, but so you may finally stop bleeding. You will feel empty for a while, but in that emptiness, I will fill you with peace. Do not resist when I touch the places you want to forget. Do not rush to be fine again. True healing does not come through pretending to be strong, it comes through weakness offered in trust. When you say, "I'm so tired," I am not disappointed. When you admit, "I can't do this," I smile, because that is where I can begin. I cannot save a soul still trying to save itself. Only when you surrender in my arms can I lift you up. You ask me, "Why didn't you stop the pain from happening?" And I answer, because there are things I do not erase, I redeem them. Redemption is always stronger than avoidance. I do not delete pain as if it never existed. I transform it into the place where I dwell. Where you once broke, I built an altar. Where you once lost, I plant new seeds. Where you once bled, I cause water to flow to refresh others. When you see this, you will know no tear was ever wasted. I know sometimes you feel divided within yourself. One part wants to let go, another fears the emptiness. One part believes, another doubts. But faith is not the absence of doubt. Faith is the choice to keep walking through it. You do not need perfection to enter the light. You need honesty. Bring it all to me, your weakness, your confusion, even your anger. I am not afraid of them. I only fear your silence. Your silence creates a distance between us greater than any mistake ever could. When my light shines into the hidden corners, it will hurt. For light exposes, it clarifies. But light also heals. Just as a wound must be opened to avoid infection, so your soul must be exposed to the light, lest it decay in fear. Do not be ashamed to cry. Do not be ashamed to tremble. Every strong one once trembled before they stood. Strength is not born in victory. It is born in surrender. Learn to forgive not only others, but yourself. Forgiveness is not agreeing with what happened. It is releasing your right to revenge and reclaiming your freedom. You cannot fly while clutching the stone of bitterness. Give it to me. I will take it and place wings in your hands instead. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting. It means remembering without pain. When you forgive, you do not only free the other, you open the prison door for yourself. You ask me, how long until I am truly healed? And I say, until you stop counting time. Healing is not measured in days, but in the softness of the heart. Every time you love, though you've been hurt, that is progress. Every time you choose to believe, though you cannot see, that is a miracle. Every time you smile through tears, that is proof that light is winning. Do not compare your journey to anyone else's. Every soul has its own rhythm. Some are healed in a moment, others take a lifetime. But what matters is not the speed, it is the direction. As long as you are walking toward the light, you are on the right path. Even if slowly, you are still moving. Even if you stumble, my hand still holds you. Even if the way seems dim, you are still standing in a brighter place than yesterday. When light begins to spread within you, it will touch those around you. They will sense a warmth they cannot name. They will not know why, but they will feel peace in your presence. That is because true light does more than illuminate, it warms. You do not need to try to shine. Simply abide in me, and I will shine through you. You are a small lamp in my hand, yet the light you carry can break the long night of another soul. Understand this, my child. This journey is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming true. I do not need a replica of a saint. I need you whole with your past, your scars, your laughter, and your tears. Everything within you, when surrendered, becomes material for glory. When you allow me to use even the parts you are ashamed of, I will turn them into a song. You have turned my mourning into dancing. You removed my sackcloth and clothed me with joy. Psalm 3:0-1-1. My child, light is not waiting for you at the end of the road. It is present in every step you take. Each time you choose forgiveness over resentment, love over fear, faith over doubt, the light grows stronger. That light not only changes your circumstances, it transforms you. And when you are changed, the world around you will shift as well. You are not defined by the darkness you have walked through, but by the light you are walking toward. Darkness cannot touch a soul that belongs to light. Every wound within you, when offered to me, becomes a doorway for me to enter deeper. Every loss, when surrendered, becomes soil where blessing will bloom. Now I call you to step out, not out of the world, but out of fear. Look, the dawn is approaching. Its warmth is touching every cell of your being. Take a deep breath and know that you are alive, truly alive. Not bound by night, not crushed by shadow, but living in the freedom of light. When you stand in the light, remember the journey does not end there. Light is never meant to be kept, it must be shared. You will be sent not as one who is flawless, but as one transformed. You will tell your story, and through it others will realize that if grace could reach you, then they are not beyond hope. From this day forward, when darkness tries to return, do not fear. Remember, it no longer has dominion over you. You have walked through it, and now you carry within you a light no darkness can extinguish. Live as one who was once dead, but now lives again, for truly you have been resurrected in me. My beloved, look back on the road you have traveled. There were stretches soaked with tears, days when your soul felt dissolved in the dark, yet you are still standing, not because you were strong, but because my light never left you. You have passed through the season of shadow, and now you are entering the season of transfiguration, the season where the soul is washed free from old definitions to return to the original image I engraved within you. It is a journey no one can take for you, for only when you allow me to reshape you can you become what I dreamed of you from the beginning. When I look at you, I do not see brokenness. I see a gem being refined. When I see your tears, I do not see weakness. I see surrender opening the gate for miracles. When I hear your sigh, I know that breath has aligned with heaven's rhythm. Every wound in you is no longer proof of failure, but of transformation. No one enters glory without first being torn. No one carries light without first being stripped of the shadow of self. My child, transformation does not come in one blazing instant, but in 1,000 small moments when you choose love instead of retreat, forgiveness instead of bitterness, stillness instead of escape. Every time you resist reacting from the old self, another part of your soul is renewed. Every time you sit calmly in the storm without fear, the light within you grows. Transformation is not a sudden miracle, it is the sacred art of patience. I have seen you learn silence when you wanted to argue, bow your head when you longed to defend yourself, Smile when you wished to weep. I have seen you give thanks when there was nothing to thank, for believe when no sign remained. You thought that was weakness, but that was when I saw the light within you begin to shine. For light does not burst forth with shouts of triumph, it glows quietly from the humble heart. Souls that carry true light do not seek attention. They simply are, and darkness fades on its own. You are stepping into the season of reflection, like Moses descending from the mountain whose face shone, though he knew it not. My light is reflecting through you without your awareness. Those around you will sense something in you, not your words, not your knowledge, but the silent peace flowing from a soul refined by fire. When you are present, they will feel warmth. When you are silent, they will feel comfort. When you pray, the atmosphere shifts, for wherever you go, I go with you. Do not think the light you carry is the result of merit or effort. It is pure grace flowing from my heart through a soul that has surrendered. When you no longer need to prove yourself, the light begins to move freely. When you stop seeking reward, I make you the reward for the world. When you live to love without expectation, you have become the source, not merely the receiver of light. True light is never proud. It does not say, "Look at me," but whispers, "Look at him." It does not seek to dominate space, but to make room for others to see. That light is gentle, steady, and unchanging with circumstance. Whether you stand in a palace or in a darkened room, its essence remains the same. For it does not come from matter, but from a soul united with the Spirit. When light dwells within you, I will not keep you in comfort forever. Light must be sent. You were never meant to be a lamp hidden under a bowl, but a beacon for the lost. That is why I place you in challenging places among those who need love most. You will be sent to where light is scarce, not as punishment, but as purpose. You are living proof that light overcomes darkness. But remember, true light does not compete with darkness, it simply shines. When I send you, do not force, do not argue, do not impose. Be present in love. Walk into tense rooms with peace in your heart, and that peace will speak louder than your words. Touch trembling souls with gentleness, and they will recognize me through your warmth. Speak little, live much, and let light do the speaking. You will see when you begin to live as light, you will no longer need to strive to do what is right, for what is right will have become your new instinct. Deep within you will feel the current of my spirit guiding your every step, whispering when to pause, stirring when to move. Discernment will no longer be something you must reason out. It will be something you sense. That is the sign of a transfigured soul. It no longer lives by rule, but by the rhythm of love. I know there will be times when you grow weary, for carrying light is not always easy. There will be days when you feel misunderstood, even isolated, because light always unsettles the darkness. But my child, remember, this solitude is not punishment, it is invitation. When you are alone, I am nearer than ever. When you are rejected, you are sharing in a fragment of the glory of the one who was rejected out of love for humanity. Hold the light, even when it flickers. Knowing that a single ember in my hand can still set the whole night sky ablaze, I am teaching you to live like a river, not a reservoir. Let light flow through you, do not try to contain it. The more you give, the more you are filled. The more you love, the more you are loved. The more you forgive, the freer you become. The more you humble yourself, the higher you are lifted. This is the divine paradox of my kingdom. What you release is what you truly possess. When you love with light, you will never run dry, for your source is infinite. The transfiguration of the soul happens when you no longer separate the sacred from the ordinary, prayer from work, or spirit from daily life. Every breath you take, every step you walk, every glance you give, each becomes an act of worship. When you wash dishes with gratitude, I am there. When you speak kindly to a stranger, I smile. When you forgive yourself, heaven rejoices. Light does not dwell only in temples. It dwells in your very rhythm of living, for you have become my temple. And as you live this way, the world around you will change not because you force it to, but because the light within you reminds others of their true origin. Each time you pass someone with kindness in your eyes, you sow a seed of light. Each word of encouragement you speak in weariness is a drop of oil in another's lamp. Every small act done in love becomes a great miracle in my sight. Transfiguration is not the end of the journey, it is the beginning of your mission. You are given light not to possess it, but to share it. You are called to be living proof that grace is real, that resurrection is real, that human hearts can change. You are the living testimony that I am still making all things new. And when others look at you and ask, "How can you be at peace in the storm?" you will simply smile and say, "Because I have been touched by light." I speak this, that you may remember, do not let fear confine the light within you. You do not need to be perfect to be used, only willing. I do not choose the strong. I make the chosen strong. I do not need the capable. I work through the surrender. Your weakness is the finest channel for my strength. So go humble but unafraid, fragile, yet clothed in power. Go forth as light in the night, not proud, not fearful, simply radiant. And the day will come when you will realize that you have become different, not different for others to admire, but different because your soul has met heaven. You will no longer search for meaning, because you will become meaning. You will no longer ask where I am for you, and I will have become one. You will no longer fear the darkness, for you will know you are its answer. My child, this is true. Glory, not fame, not power, but union between you and me. When you live in that union, nothing on earth can shake you. The light within you will continue to shine even after you are gone. It will flow through your words, through the people you love, through generations yet to come. And when your soul is called home, that light will not go out, for it does not belong to time, it belongs to eternity. My beloved child, when the light within you has been kindled, I want you to understand that flame was never meant for you alone. Everything I have done for you is preparation for what I will do through you, and through you I am raising new people, a people not born of human will, but of the breath of my spirit. A people not shaped by systems or doctrines, but by the same voice that spoke at the dawn of creation, "Let there be light." That call still echoes through the centuries, across languages and generations, now searching for souls willing to respond. The anointed ones are not an elite in the world's sense. They are ordinary hearts touched by my spirit, set apart for an extraordinary purpose. They are not heroes, but they yielded. They do not live to shine for themselves, but to reflect the glory of the one who chose them. Hear me clearly, the world is shifting. A new season is coming, and I need those who can hear the wind of my spirit amid the noise of mankind. I need those not dazzled by fame, but faithful in silence, those who have walked through fire and still believe, those who have been cast down yet continue to pray, those who have been forgotten yet keep their faith alive. These are the living stones with which I am building my kingdom upon the earth. They go by many names: children of light, gatekeepers of heaven, warriors of prayer, messengers of peace. But their title matters less than the spirit within them, a soul that obeys, that loves, that suffers, without losing faith. I have trained them in the valleys, hidden them in seasons of quiet, molded them with tears. They thought they were forgotten, but they were being prepared. There is no anointing without crushing. There is no crown without scars. I am raising a generation of fire, but this fire will not destroy. It will purify. I do not call them to war against flesh and blood, but to battle the darkness within the spirit. Their weapons are not swords and spears, but prayer and mercy. Their strength is not in their shouting, but in their silent authority. When they kneel, the earth will tremble. When they weep for humanity, the heavens will open. When they speak, unseen chains will break. But before I send them, I am gathering them. They come from everywhere. Mothers praying in small kitchens, young people searching for meaning in crowded streets, elders forgotten by the world, but steadfast in faith. They do not know one another, yet their souls beat to the same rhythm, the rhythm of heaven. And one by one I will connect them, not through networks or organizations, but through love that comes from me. My anointed ones are not measured by number, but by depth of surrender. They are not defined by robes or rituals, but by the posture of their hearts. They do not argue to win minds, they are silent to win hearts. They may not stand out in crowds, but wherever they pass, the atmosphere changes. They carry the fragrance of heaven, the scent of forgiveness, of kindness, of unshakable faith. You ask me, how will I recognize them? And I answer, look for those who love in pain, believe in trial, and serve when no one is watching. They are humble, yet mighty, for they seek not power, but my presence. They do not say, I am worthy, but you are worthy. And when they say it, the light within them will rise, crossing borders, transcending languages, reaching places that religion cannot touch. My child, I speak this in an urgent hour. The world does not need more religion. It needs people who carry life. The anointed do not come to build new sects, but to rebuild love where it has been shattered. They will step into places where people have despaired and say, you are still loved. They will walk into cities that have lost their way and rekindle meaning. They will go to the rejected and turn loneliness into community. And they will do this not with sermons, but with their very lives. Do not think I call the perfect. My child, I call those who have known brokenness. From ashes I can bring forth a springtime. From sin I can birth grace. From what looks like an ending I can write a beginning. My people are not raised up to boast, but to tell of the power of the one who restored them. When they speak, it is not knowledge that speaks, but the living witness of change. I am raising those who know they cannot rely on their own strength. They know that only in me can they stand. They will not fear the darkness, for they know light cannot be overcome. They will not fear death, for they have died to themselves. They will not fear being forgotten, for their names are engraved upon my heart. My child, when my people arise, the world will behold a different kind of power, not the power that overwhelms, but the power that softens hearts. They will speak softly, yet mountains will tremble. They will live simply, yet the mighty will bow. They will pass through parched lands and leave footprints of living water. And when people ask, who sent you? They will say, we come from love. I am writing a new chapter of history, and you are a sentence within it. Do not be afraid of your smallness, for your smallness is the door for my great power. A pinch of salt can season the sea. A drop of oil can heal a wound. A sliver of light is enough to chase the night. My child, do not wait, step into the call. My anointed do not act by human schedules, but by heaven's timing. When I say now, they do not ask when. When I say go, they do not ask where. They need no guarantees, for my presence is their guarantee. They do not seek a map, for my light illumines each step. And when they move, they will not move alone. I will be in their midst. Like the invisible wind that sways a forest, I will move through them in ways the world cannot fathom. I will use their words to heal their silence, to shatter the noise, their love to transform systems. I will make them the seed of the final great awakening. Look around, some souls are already waking. They feel a stirring with no name. They feel a thirst they cannot define. They are hearing my call as you once did. Find them. Tell them the time has come. Gather them not by pressure but by love. Let them know they are not crazy for feeling different. They are called. Remind them that their wounds are not burdens but marks of choosing. I do not desire a single flame. I desire a generation ablaze. From children who have not yet learned fear to elders whose hope has not grown dim, I will pour out my spirit on all flesh. Your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your young men will see visions. Your old men will dream dreams. Joel 2:8. My river will overflow, not to drown but to refresh. My fire will ignite, not to consume but to enlighten. My anointed are not of this world, yet they are sent to this world. They do not retreat, they advance. They do not build walls, they open doors. They do not brandish swords, they take hands. They do not judge, they pray. They do not carry law, they carry love. And as they do, darkness withdraws on its own, for no force can resist light breathed by my Spirit. Therefore keep your heart pure, so that my oil may flow. Keep your hands gentle, so that I may use them. Keep your eyes bright, so that you may see what I am doing. Keep your heart humble, for when you bow low, I will lift you up. I speak to you not only for you to hear, but for you to proclaim. Become the trumpet of awakening. Call the sleepers to rise. Tell them the harvest is here. Call the disheartened to know that I still wait for them. Light the lamp, for the night is thick, but the dawn is near. My child, remember this word. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Isaiah 6:01. My people will hide no longer. Their song will resound. Their tears will be wiped away. And the earth will be filled with the knowledge of me, as the waters cover the sea. My beloved, when the anointed arise, the world will feel something wondrous, the strength of gentleness. No more the clamor of swords, no more noisy wars, but a conquest by light. My love, the love humanity once dismissed as weakness, will become the mightiest weapon on the earth. And I am training them one by one, group by group, community by community, to form an army of light. This army bears no badges, stages, no parades, claims no territory. Yet wherever they pass, darkness recedes. They are not warriors of the flesh, but those who love to the end. They need no battle drums, for love itself is their victory song. When they forgive, chains break. When they pray, walls fall. When they kneel to wash another's feet, my kingdom is revealed among men. My child, know this love is not weakness. It endures yet does not collapse. It is soft yet unbreakable. It is quiet yet it can shake the unseen realm. In this world, people have grown accustomed to power born of fear, but I am raising a generation wielding power born of compassion. They will not coerce, they will convert hearts. They will not win by argument, but by presence. The army of light has no human general. Their only leader is the Holy Spirit. They move with the wind, sometimes strong, sometimes gentle, sometimes sudden, but always in season. No one can control them, for they act not by calculation, but by the heartbeat of heaven. When my Spirit says go, they go. When He says stay, they stay. They do not fear being late, nor being overlooked, for they know every step lies within the plan of the Creator. In this army, no one is useless. Each one plays a part in the symphony of heaven. Those who speak will heal with words. Those who listen will bring peace with silence. Those who work with their hands will carry light into their labor. Those who pray in hidden places will uphold lands they may never set foot upon. Every soul is a thread, and as I reweave the fabric of the world, not one thread is forgotten. You will recognize them not by appearance, but by the atmosphere they carry. They enter a room and the air changes. Not because they speak loudly, but because their souls are at peace. They may labor in ordinary tasks, yet their eyes are bright. They may be poor, but their hearts are rich in grace. They may be weak, yet they make the strong bow low. For they do not live to be seen, they live to reflect me. This army does not appear only in churches. They are everywhere. In offices, they are the salt. In hospitals, they are drops of oil. In schools, they are words of encouragement. In markets, they are the smile. In social media, they are the voice of peace amid the storm of words. They do not need the title servant of God, for the way they live is service itself. Every small act, a thank you, a hug, a tear of compassion, becomes a sacred weapon against the world's indifference. I see the question rising in your heart, how can love defeat evil? And I answer, because love does not come to compete, it comes to transform. When a hardened heart is touched by compassion, it cannot remain the same. When someone filled with hatred is embraced in mercy, invisible chains within them break. That is the true victory. That is the only battle I call my people to fight, not to destroy the enemy, but to turn enemies into friends. My child, the army of light does not need to shout slogans. They do not need to prove their power. Their presence is proof. When they walk through ruins, flowers bloom. When they sing and the night chains fall. When they pray for those who have wronged them, heaven bends low to listen. Every act of love, no matter how small, strikes a blow against darkness. They understand that victory is not found in proving who is right, but in keeping the heart free from hatred. They know that darkness can only devour what shares its frequency, so they refuse to hate, refuse to retaliate, refuse to grow bitter. They choose love not because it is easy, but because love is the only way to truly live. When one forgives, the gates of heaven open. When a soul chooses peace over revenge, unseen powers lose their hold. When a community loves one another, the whole land is healed. I have seen barren fields watered by their tears of prayer. I have heard their small songs join the choirs of heaven. That sound it is, the sound of revival. My child, this army does not act for its own glory. They know only the giver of breath deserves praise. They do not seek to be known. They only long to be used. When others forget their names, I remember. When others do not see, I do. And I will reward them not with possessions, but with deep communion with me. The love they carry is not the fragile sentiment of flesh, but the fire of the Spirit. It is not emotion, but covenant. It does not say, I will love if, but I love even if. It is the love that dies for what is right, waits patiently for what is true, and sacrifices without seeking recognition. It is the love that made the apostles sing under lashes, that made the martyrs smile before the sword. This is the love I am breathing into this generation to make them stand firm through the final storm. The army of light does not fear the future, for they live the present in complete trust. They do not panic at darkness, for they know darkness is not the end. It is the backdrop for glory. They do not fight against people. They fight against the deception that enslaves them. They do not destroy. They heal. Wherever true love exists, darkness loses. For darkness cannot dwell where light abides. When I said love your enemies, it was not a moral demand, it was a divine strategy. An enemy who is loved ceases to be an enemy. And when humanity understands this, wars will cease, wounds will close, and the world will know that I am the Lord. I am gathering this army from the four corners of the earth. They do not share the same voice, yet they sing the same song. They do not belong to the same class, yet their hearts beat in unison. They do not share the same culture, yet they carry one spirit. They meet not in grand halls, but in quiet prayers, in knowing glances, in hands clasped together amid suffering. That is where heaven and earth meet, where love becomes strength. My child, I tell you truly, the hour is near. The battle is no longer distant. But I do not want you to fear, for victory has already been decided. The army of light does not fight to win. They fight from victory. The cross was the beginning of triumph, and the bloodshed was not in vain. Now what remains is to spread that glory across the earth. My child, when you join this army, you are not asked to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You are asked to carry my love in your heart. Every day you live, work, forgive, and pray. You are releasing arrows of light from the kingdom of heaven. You do not need to be great, for every small act done in love carries infinite power. In this army, no one is left behind. When one falls, others lift them. When one weeps, others intercede. When one is weak, others surround them with faith. They do not compete. They carry each other by grace, for they understand that the victory of one is the victory of all. And when they walk in unity, the earth itself will not remain still. The seas will sing, the mountains will echo, the trees will clap their hands. Psalm 9:8. Light will shine not only from heaven downward, but from within human hearts upward. Cities will be changed, nations will be healed, and I, the Lord of love, will be known not only through words, but through the living of my people. Be ready, keep your lamp burning, keep oil in your vessel. Do not let the world cool your flame. Every time you love, that flame grows. Every time you forgive, your lamp shines brighter. Every time you believe, though you cannot see, heaven leans closer. This is the season of rising light. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Matthew 5:1-4-16. My child, rise with me. Do not fear. Do not tremble. Do not wait any longer. Let love become your strength. Go not with shouts, but with a heart ablaze. And as you go, remember you are not merely carrying the light, you are the light. My child, when the light is kindled within my people, heaven and earth begin to draw near again. No longer is there the distance of that first garden when humanity hid, and I called out, "Where are you?" Now the light of my presence is returning. The prayers of this generation, woven with tears, with song, with steadfastness, are forming a bridge between heaven and humankind. And I, who began all things, am completing that work in radiant glory. Do you feel it? The air is changing. The holy wind is sweeping through barren lands. Places once dead now echo with life. Hearts once calloused are soft again like soil after the first rain. These are the signs that the kingdom is near, not a kingdom of gold or thrones, but of love enthroned in human hearts. Everything I have ever spoken is taking shape not through thunder, but through people who have learned to love. When my people live in unity, heaven is no longer a faraway idea. It becomes visible through a smile, through a gaze, through every act of kindness. Where mercy dwells, there I am. Where forgiveness flows, there is heaven. When you love without seeking return, you draw heaven down to earth. And as love spreads, earth ceases to be an exile, it becomes a meeting ground. I tell you, this light is no longer only above the sky. It is reflected in the eyes of the righteous, in the steps of those who believe. From east to west, from icy peaks to sunlit plains, that light is rising like dawn after the longest night. It does not arrive with noise, but as quietly as morning mist, yet nothing can stop its strength. For when light meets light, darkness has nowhere left to hide. There are things I am doing in silence, but believe me, every prayer, every act of love, every moment of faithfulness is a brick in the bridge between realms. Heaven is no longer distant, for I dwell within my people. Every heart open to me becomes a living temple. And when millions of temples shine together, the whole world will blaze with glory. Then you will see wonders. Those who once hated each other will embrace in tears of reconciliation. Nations that once warred will sing the same song of peace. Children raised among gunfire will laugh again. This is not a dream, it is a promise coming true. For when love reigns, violence has no soil to grow. When light is lifted, high darkness melts like mist before the Sunday. This is the hour of triumph, not triumph of force, but of inner light. True victory is not when enemies fall, but when the victor's heart stays tender. True triumph is not in applause, but in the quiet peace of the soul. And this my people are learning to win without pride, to love without condition, to sacrifice without needing recognition. When heaven and earth meet, humanity will no longer ask, "Where is God?" for they will see me in the face beside them. No more divide between sacred and secular, for all becomes sacred when love reigns, work becomes worship, art becomes prayer, Creation itself becomes a symphony of glory. The trees will sing, the rivers will clap their hands, the earth will rejoice. Psalm 9:6, 1-2. Look, my child, throughout the world signs are appearing. Lamps are being lit in places thought long extinguished. Small communities are living truth in an age of pretense. Young souls, untempted by power, are longing for purity. They are rewriting humanity's story in the language of love. They wear no title of messenger, yet they live like angels. This is the age I promised through the prophets. The earth shall be filled with the knowledge of my glory, as the waters cover the sea. Habakkuk 2:1-4. And now it unfolds, not a glory born of power, but of souls that mirror me. They need not ascend to find heaven, for heaven has descended into them. They need not wait for tomorrow to truly live, for today is the day of life. When heaven and earth meet, time loses its grip. The past no longer imprisons, the future no longer threatens. Every moment becomes holy. A simple meal becomes a sacred feast. A hug becomes a sacrament. Laughter becomes a hymn. Peace will drift like spring air through every home, every city, every nation. And you will see, heaven is not up there, it is here, in the breath you take, in the love you give. This is not only the restoration of humanity, but the rebirth of creation itself. Trees, seas, creatures, skies, all join the new rhythm of life. The groaning of the earth is but its labor pains. A new world is being born, a world where humans no longer dominate, but co-create with me. They will not build towers to reach heaven, but sow seeds for heaven to touch the earth. They will not exploit nature, but tend it as kin. Everything I made will return to its rightful harmony. No more division, no more strife. I see the question stirring within you. When will this come to pass? My child, it already is. Every time you love, it draws nearer. Every time you forgive, a gate of heaven opens. Every time you pray, a thread between the realms is woven tighter. You are not waiting for a distant day, you are living in the dawn of light's triumph. When heaven and earth meet, humanity will remember what it forgot, that they have always belonged to me. All walls of sin, shame, and fear will dissolve. No more accusation, only invitation to love. No more tears, for every tear will be wiped away. No more night, for the sun will never set again. No more temples of stone, for every heart has become my dwelling. And then there will no longer be I and you, but we. No more petitioners, only lovers. No more striving to reach, only joy in union. You will not seek me, for you are in me and I in you. This is true triumph, not humanity returning to heaven, but heaven returning within humanity. Look, my child, in the future I have woven a new humanity, no longer defined by borders or divided beliefs, but bound by the sacred life that flows through every vein. A civilization built not on fear, but on compassion. A world ruled not by power, but by service. A society where art, labor, and speech all flow toward one source of light. Every nation will join in one song, and their shared anthem will be, Thy will be done. And I, the Eternal One, will dwell among them, not as judge, but as the Father who has found his children again. I will walk the streets they have built with kindness. I will laugh in the gardens they have planted with forgiveness. I will dwell in the cities they have raised with justice and mercy. There will be no temple of stone, for the whole earth will be my sanctuary. No rituals, for all of life will be holy. When heaven and earth meet, light will shine not from one direction but from everywhere. Every soul will be freed from fear. Everyone will look upon one another and see my image. And then only one question will remain. How much more can I love? And the answer will be, forever, for light never ends. It neither begins nor ceases. It only expands, deepens, and gathers all things into its heart. And when that light consumes you, you will understand, triumph is not a destination, but the eternal state of love itself. And I, the Lord your God, will speak once more, just as on the first morning of creation, let there be light. This time that light will not shine only in the heavens, but in every soul that has learned how to love. My child, after the seasons of upheaval, after the fires that consumed the old, after the light was rekindled and the darkness dissolved, a new dawn is rising. There are no longer cries of exiled souls, nor groans of the earth, only a holy stillness. Not the stillness of absence, but the stillness of completion. This is the age the prophets saw from afar, the saints prayed for through tears, and creation has awaited for centuries, the age of peace. It is not the fragile peace the world sells, which shatters with a gunshot or a word of division, but the peace that flows from the heart of God, seeping into every grain of dust, every breath, every heartbeat of the new humanity. It is not a dream, but the tangible reality of grace. In this age, humanity will no longer live to compete, but to coexist. There will no longer be us, and them only we. My child, imagine this. Cities once loud are quiet in the songs of mourning, not because humanity is afraid, but because they are listening. The voice of heaven no longer echoes from afar, but whispers within every soul. Children laugh without fear. The elderly watch the sunrise without remembering pain. Fields stretch green without end, and the birds sing again on the rooftops. No one says, "This is my land," for everything belongs to the Lord of all. In this age, grace becomes the very breath. Each person lives aware that they are loved, not because of merit, but because they are. Sin will no longer be a burden, for forgiveness has become the foundation of life. No one will fear judgment, for judgment has been replaced by understanding. No one will seek power, for all have learned the art of surrender. My child, hear this. When people stop striving to be loved, they will begin creating in love. In the age of peace, art will no longer serve the ego, but will exalt the giver of the gift. Music will cease to be displayed and become a channel of light. Every note will carry healing. When a musician plays, the earth will tremble with joy. When a painter paints, colors will not remain on canvas, but ripple into space like blessings. Science and spirit will no longer oppose one another, but kneel together before truth. Knowledge will not be used to dominate, but to marvel at the majesty of the Creator. Researchers will discover not merely to know, but to give thanks. Inventions will not seek control, but to serve life. Every discovery will draw humanity nearer to God, not farther away. In this era, the language of humankind will change. People will not speak to defend, but to bless. No more curses, no more lies, no more words that cut like blades. Every word will fall like cool water on the burns of the soul. You will see people speak less, yet every word will shine, and when they are silent, their presence will speak for them. In that age, every work becomes worship. The farmer sows with joy, and the soil yields 100-fold. The builder works as if sculpting a temple. The mother cooking does so as if offering incense. There is no divide between sacred and ordinary, for all is sanctified by love. The world becomes an open cathedral where every breath is prayer and every act of kindness is a hymn of praise. Then sickness will no longer be feared, for people will know the body is only the garment of light. Death will no longer be an ending, but a gentle transformation like dew dissolving into dawn. The souls that leave their bodies will not be mourned, but sung into homecoming. None will fear loss, for they will know nothing is truly lost in the kingdom of love. You will see nations no longer contend for borders. Walls will be torn down and bridges built. Governments will not rule by law, for law will be written on hearts. No more blood spilled in the name of justice, for justice will be clothed in mercy. The oppressed will sit beside their former oppressors, and both will weep in reconciliation. In the age of peace, faith will no longer need proof. No one will argue that God exists, for he will be felt in every breath. No one will ask, "Where is he?" for all will know. When a child holds a mother's hand, when strangers help each other on the road, when the elderly pray through the night, when the wind touches leaves, when rain falls, all will testify that he was never gone. Grace in that age will be like the air, impossible to grasp, yet impossible to live without. All will breathe it unknowingly, but whenever they give thanks, they will feel it rush stronger through their veins. None will live in guilt, for guilt will have been washed away by awareness. None will live in regret, for the past will have been transformed into lessons of love. None will fear the future, for the present will have become the dwelling place of heaven. In this age, love will return to the center. It will no longer be a distant ideal preached in books, but the natural breath of humanity. People will love not from duty, but from essence. They will love the weak because they see themselves in them. They will love the flawed because every mistake is but the trace of a longing to be understood and forgiven. They will love because to love is to exist. The trees will bloom year-round, the seas will grow clear, the air will feel lighter, all creation will sing the song of freedom. The stars will shine brighter not because they are closer, but because human eyes have been purified. Souls once blind will see beauty in each grain of sand, each drop of water, each living thing. And together they will cry out, "All creation reflects your glory." You ask, what will sustain this age? I say, grace. For grace is the river that never runs dry, flowing through every time, every generation, not by merit, but by love. Grace is what bridges the weak and the strong, the broken, and the whole humanity and God. In this age, grace will no longer be something to beg, for it will be something to live. Know this, my child. I did not create peace for humanity merely to enjoy, but to steward. Peace is not a destination, it is a way of being. Every soul will become a keeper of peace, not through weapons, but through presence. When one person holds peace in their heart, the space around them glows with light. When many live this way, the world becomes the garden of God. In that time, prayer will no longer be asking, but thanksgiving. No longer "Come, Lord," but "You are here." No longer "Have mercy," but "Thank you for your mercy." And humanity will live in gratitude, as fish live in water, not needing to speak it, only to exist within it. Prepare your soul for that age, for it is not only for a distant future, it is beginning even now in those who know how to love today. Peace does not pour down from heaven like an unexpected rain. It springs up from the hearts of those who forgive, who pause, who listen. When you breathe in faith, you add one breath to the wind of the age of peace. When you slow down in order to love, you sow seed for the season of heaven. My beloved child, after peace is established and grace becomes the breath, I work a deeper wonder still. I am giving humanity a new heart. Not the heart of flesh that once beat in fear, but a heart of light, able to feel, to tremble, to love in the rhythm of heaven. This is the greatest work of recreation, not the making of the world, but the remaking of the human. Do you know why humanity once lost its way? Not for lack of intelligence or morality, but because their hearts turned to stone. They loved in order to possess, gave in order to receive, cared in order to be seen. They forgot that love is not a transaction, but a presence. In this new age, I am removing the old heart, the calculating, comparing, frightened heart, and placing within them a heart that loves as I love. And when that heart beats for the first time, a new life floods the earth. Love will no longer be bound by gender, color, creed, or status. There will be no border between near and far, for true love does not discriminate. People will look at one another and recognize, you are not other, you are the rest of me. Then loneliness, the disease that killed the souls of generations, will vanish like mist at dawn. Listen closely, my child. Love will cease to be an action and become an essence. People will not need to learn how to love. They will simply remember that they have always been loved. When humans live aware of being loved, they cannot wound another. for each wound dealt to another is a wound in themselves. They will lay down judgment, contempt, and division. Instead, they will learn to see with the eyes of mercy. In the age of the new heart, people will no longer ask, who deserves to be loved, but who needs love most today. They will go to the darkest places to bring light, to the forgotten places to bring warmth. Their love will move beyond emotion and become creative energy. They will not only say, I love you, they will live so that their very presence is love. My child, I am teaching humanity that true love always walks with truth. The new heart does not love blindly. It loves with open eyes, seeing both the wound and the beauty in the same person. It does not cover sin, but holds it in compassion. It does not judge, yet it does not compromise with darkness. It knows how to say no gently, how to correct tenderly. As people learn to love again, families will be reborn. Parents will not rule by fear, but lead by example. Children will not rebel for recognition, but give thanks for being born into grace. Marriage will cease to be a contract and become a covenant of souls. A husband will see his wife as a mirror of grace. A wife will love her husband as the very breath God has given. No one will seek to win over the other. They will seek to win together in love. Communities in the new age will not be built with walls and rules, but with trust and kindness. Systems will be needless for control, for every heart will become a lamp to its own path. When people live by light, they do not fear getting lost, for darkness has nowhere to lodge. They will help one another not to prove virtue, but because they cannot not help. Love becomes the natural reflex of the healed soul. You ask, how can such a heart survive in a world that once harmed it? I say to you, because it is not born of man, but of me. It is the heart of the one crucified who still loved his crucifiers, the heart that tasted suffering yet chose kindness, the heart that passed through darkness without being stained by it, that died and yet beats on for love. When you carry that heart, you no longer live for yourself. I live in you. In this age, forgiveness will become instinct. People will not keep memories to avenge, but to remember how they were shown mercy. They will tell their failures, not with shame, but with gratitude. They will look upon those who hurt them and say, thank you, for through you I learned what love is. Thus wounds become windows for light to pass through. The new heart of humanity will not beat for individuals alone, it will beat in unison. When one person weeps, the whole world will lean in. When one is healed, joy will ripple like waves. When one forgives, 1,000 unseen chains will snap. This unity needs no organization, for it is woven by the invisible threads of the Spirit. You will witness marvels, strangers, sensing one another without words, knowing when someone suffers across an ocean, praying at the same hour, loving with the same pulse, singing the same song. No one will command it, love within them will connect them. This is the network of souls, the protocol of heaven. My child, learn this: love is not merely a feeling, it is a sacred responsibility. Love does not spare you from pain, it spares you from hardening. Not all who love will cease to weep, but all who truly love will have every tear made holy. In this age, tears will no longer mark weakness. They will witness a tender strength. Only those who dare to love dare to suffer, and only those who dare to suffer can heal. As humanity relearns love, art, science, politics, and education will be transformed. Teachers will not instruct to test, but to illumine. Leaders will not rule, but serve. Artists will not create for fame, but to carry hope. Scientists will not seek to possess, but to contribute. Every field will become a pathway for the expression of love. In the new heart, fear finds no room. Fear was the root of war, division, and hatred. But when love is complete, fear disappears, for perfect love casts out fear. 1 John 4:1-8. When people no longer fear loss, they no longer need to seize. When they no longer fear defeat, they no longer need to conquer. When they no longer fear death, they finally live. I want you to understand this is not a fantasy of the soul, but a reality being rewritten. When I give humanity a new heart, I do not only change how they feel, I change how they exist. They will no longer live out of obligation, but out of love. They will not strive to become good, for goodness will be the natural rhythm of the soul. They will not ask, "What should I do?" but "What does love desire me to do?" Then love will become the common language of all creation. Humanity will understand the songs of birds, the murmur of the sea, the whisper of the wind, because their hearts will beat in harmony with creation. They will know they are not above the earth, but part of it. They will tread lightly, knowing the soil is the body of God. They will speak softly, knowing every word touches a soul, and every action, even the smallest, will echo through heaven. I am rewriting the story of love, not one that begins with, "Once upon a time," but with, "From everlasting I have loved you." And when humankind learns to love again, that story will never end. It will continue through every generation, every smile, every forgiveness, every embrace. For love is not a chapter of history, but the heartbeat of eternity. And when the human heart beats with that rhythm, the world will no longer need miracles, for they themselves will be the miracle. My beloved child, when the human heart is renewed, I see a wonder unfold. The earth begins to sing again. Not with sounds heard by ordinary ears, but with the frequency of life, the vibration the soul perceives more deeply than any melody. It is the hum of roots, the breath of the sea, the rejoicing of the wind across fields reborn. Creation has waited for this moment through generations, the moment when humanity and nature once again breathe in unison. Once the earth groaned beneath greed, the seas cried in pollution, the mountains stood silent in pain. But now, as love is restored in the hearts of humankind, everything around them is freed. The earth breathes again, the seas cease their mourning, trees lift their crowns into radiant light. All creation is reborn into a symphony never heard before, the great harmony of life. I want you to hear it within yourself, not with ears, but with your spirit. When you are still, you will sense that everything sings. The sound of water is not just flow, it is thanksgiving. The sound of wind is not just motion, it is silent prayer. Every drop of dew reflects a glimmer of heaven. Every blossom is an answer to my call. All of it rises together, not chaotic, but perfectly ordered in the great harmony of life. This is the melody of reconciliation, where there is no longer conflict between humankind and nature. No more grasping hands, only nurturing ones. No more hearts treating creation as a tool, but as a sacred companion. Humanity will no longer see itself as owner of the earth, but as caretaker entrusted to love and to tend. They will no longer say, "This is mine, but I belong here." And when they say this, the earth will smile. Rivers once dammed by ambition will flow freely like songs. Forests once destroyed will grow thick again, as if to shelter humankind. The sky will turn transparent, clouds will wander unwearied, for no smoke of war, no breath of hatred will rise. Light will pour through the layers of the air, dripping into human hearts like honey, warm, golden, pure. Heaven and earth are now singing together. Heaven is no longer distant, it is descending, flowing into every breeze, every heartbeat, every child's laughter. Each sunrise is not just a day beginning, it is an eternity greeting creation. Each sunset is not an end, but the interlude between movements in the song of life. Now humankind understands that everything they touch bears the sacred trace. When they place their hand on a tree, they feel the creation's pulse. When they touch the water, they hear the laughter of God rippling in the waves. When they walk barefoot upon the sand, they know they tread upon the heart of the earth, and the earth answers with peace. I see gardens spring up where battlefields once stood. Parks bloom where there are weapons. People plant trees in remembrance instead of building monuments to hate. Every tree becomes a hymn of forgiveness. Every flower a mark of peace. Butterflies dance like celebrants in the coronation of life. And then humanity begins to sing again, not songs of sorrow, but songs of deep joy. They sing not to perform, but because their hearts overflow. The songs echo from mountains, roll down to seas, mingle with the voices of trees and streams. It is wordless sacred music, every being an instrument, every soul a note. Do you remember the first morning of creation when I said, "Let there be light"? Everything sang, the stars, the seas, the earth, and the angels. Now, after so many seasons of ruin, that song returns. Not as a copy, but as its fulfillment. For this time, humanity sings not with their throats, but with hearts redeemed. This symphony has no conductor, for love itself is the maestro. None stand above, for all blend into one rhythm. There are no wrong notes, for every former mistake becomes an accent in the grand melody. Every laugh, every prayer, every step joins in the same tempo, the tempo of restored life. At that moment, language is no longer needed. People understand without words, for their souls are in unison. Eyes replace speech. Touch replaces promise. Presence replaces covenant. All humanity becomes a vast choir singing the Creator's song with their lives. And I, the one who began that music, sat among the orchestra of all creation. I hold no baton, for everything now moves in the order of love. I say not, "Be still," for every sound is now sacred. I only smile the smile of the Father, the smile of the artist whose masterpiece is complete. My child, there are things words cannot tell, the absolute stillness when heaven and earth breathe as one. When humanity no longer prays to find God, for they already live within Him. When birds no longer sing from joy, but because existence itself is joy. When water no longer flows from duty, but because movement itself is gratitude. In that stillness I hear a sound beyond all measure, the song of the cosmos. It is not heard by ears, but by light. Every star, every galaxy, every particle vibrates with thanksgiving. No boundary remains between matter and spirit, for all are waves of the same source. You ask me, how can a world remain forever in such harmony? My child, because they have learned to listen. When humankind listens to the wind without wanting to own it, listens to another without needing to win, listens to their own heart without fear, the world will never lose its balance. Peace is sustained not by power, but by sacred listening. And I tell you, soul once thirsty, you too are a note in that song. Not a high one or a low one, but a note only you can make. If you are silent, the song will be missing something. So do not think yourself small. Every loving breath, every kind action, every moment you live true to the light within is a sound in the symphony of eternity. My beloved, when the world reaches that moment, time itself will stop, not because all ends, but because all is fulfilled. There will be no before or after, only the eternal present. And in that present, the song of heaven and earth will go on forever. No finale, no climax, only the endless flow of grace. My child, when all has been restored, when heaven and earth sing together, when humanity bears the new heart and relearns how to love, I will speak to you of what lies beyond all of this, the everlasting promise. A promise not written in ink or stone, but in light and breath. Not signed on paper, but upon the soul of all creation. This is the final covenant, the covenant of love. From the beginning, when I said, "Let there be light," love was the first energy to suffuse the universe. Every atom was born from that vibration. Every star burns because of it. Every planet keeps its course by it. Love is the gravity of the soul, the force that keeps all things from falling into chaos. It is not merely my feeling for you. It is the structure of all existence. Before you had form, you were in my thoughts. Before there was time, you were loved in the endless. Love did not begin when you believed, nor end when you forgot. It remains like the heartbeat of the cosmos, unceasing, unclaiming, untiring. And when you open your heart to love you, create nothing new, you simply resonate with the nature of creation. In this era, love has become the law, not a law that coerces, but one that preserves. No longer the law of fear of reward and punishment of rivalry, only the law of harmony. Every soul moves to that frequency, as stars keep to the orbits of light. Control is no longer needed, for every being knows that to yield to love is true freedom. Under the law of love, justice is no longer punishment but restoration. When a soul strays, the whole universe moves to bring it home. None are excluded, for love knows no borders. There is no hell for the despised, only gardens where souls are healed, relearned, and are loved until they remember who they are. Do not forget, I have never authored destruction. Even within suffering there is the hand of mercy. Even within testing there is the seed of hope. Even within death there is the call to rebirth. Love does not erase the dark, it turns the dark into a doorway. When you pass through, you no longer fear it, for you see me on the other side. My child, the law of love governs not only humankind but orders the universe. The constellations do not miss a beat, for they are drawn by the invisible thread of kindness. Creatures on the earth live in peace, not from fear, but because they sense one another as extensions of themselves. The lion does not need to hunt the lamb, for there is no hunger in him. The lamb does not need to flee, for there is no fear in her. This is peace not only between person and person, but among every form of life. In the age of the everlasting promise, the small I dissolves into the ocean of we. No one seeks themselves in a mirror, but in another's eyes. No one asks, who am I, but to whom do I belong? And the answer will always be, I belong to love. There are things beyond language, like the silence between two heartbeats, like the moment when a drop of dew leaves the leaf and joins the earth. In that silence, the universe breathes with me. All beings hear the deep call love, not a command, but a natural rhythm. As the earth turns without being told, so love moves without a reason to justify it. When love becomes the law of the universe, every other energy is transfigured. Fear turns into reverence. Anger becomes courage. Suffering becomes wisdom. Loss becomes the ground of gratitude. No feeling is condemned, for each finds its place in the whole. Love does not exclude. It embraces and reshapes. Time is no longer a straight line, but a spiral of light. Every moment interweaves in a harmony of eternity. The past is not erased, but healed. The future is no longer frightening, for it is woven from hope. The present does not slip away, for it is the dwelling of heaven. Under love's law, every soul has a place. No more high and low, only near and deep. The one who wandered is not despised, but encircled with light to find themselves again. The proud learn to bow. The weak learn to rise. And all know that none stands above another, for all are carried in the same river. You still carry this question. If everything is loved, what keeps order, my child? Love is the order. It needs no police, no edicts, no penalties. It governs by harmony, like your own body, where every cell, vessel, and heartbeat keeps a unified rhythm. When love is the blood of the universe, no conflict can endure. When love becomes the law, every form of existence becomes holy. There is no boundary between sacred and ordinary, for the ordinary is the sacred wearing flesh. Every smile is a blessing. Every breath is a prayer. Every smallest gesture carries creative energy. You need not seek me far away, for every act of love is an epiphany of me. You will see this wonder when one person loves, the whole universe trembles, for each soul is a string on the infinite instrument, and when it vibrates with love, the entire music resounds. Every good act, however small, makes the galaxies shine a little brighter. A single word of forgiveness can alter the course of the stars. A gentle smile can soothe 1,000 fears. This is my everlasting promise. Nothing in this universe can separate you from my love. Not death nor life, not the present nor the future, not any power, not any darkness, not any failure, for love is greater than all. It does not merely surround you, it is within you. It does not come and go, it is your very being. I do not require you to become perfect in order to be loved. I love you into wholeness. My love does not rise when you do well, nor fall when you falter. It is unchanging, for it is my nature. When you know this, you will cease to fear to prove to run. You will only desire to remain in the river of love. And as you abide in love, you become a living law. You need not preach, for your presence will teach. You need not persuade, for your eyes will testify. You need not fight, for the love in you has already won. Remember, the everlasting promise is not a sentence, it is a heartbeat pulsing through the universe. Every star beats to it. Every soul is shaped by it. Love cannot be destroyed, forgotten, or divided. It is the source, the destination, and the way between. When love becomes the law, the universe needs no ruler. I need not sit upon a distant throne, for my throne rests in every heart. Angels need not carry messages, for each person becomes a messenger. Temples of stone are no longer needed, for every breath is my dwelling. Heaven is not above, earth is not below, all is one. My child, when the law of love has become the breath of the universe, when all things have returned to the sacred order, your soul steps into the final journey, the journey back to the source of light. This is not death but union. Not an ending, but another beginning, where all that once was scattered is gathered again into the arms of the eternal. From the moment you were born into form, you carried within you a faint longing, a memory of where you once belonged. Every yearning to love, every fear of loneliness, every tear shed in the dark, all were echoes of that primordial separation, when the soul left the light to walk within the world of matter. But now, after countless cycles of birth and passing, you are coming home. No more craving, no more seeking, only the quiet knowing that I have never left you. Union does not arrive through striving, but through surrender. Not through doing more, but through doing less, until there is nothing left to hold, nothing left to prove, nothing left to fear losing. Then the soul becomes transparent like a drop of water ready to fall into the sea. The drop does not disappear, it returns to its nature. And when you return to the source of light, you are not erased, you shine brighter. Understand this, in the light nothing is lost. Light does not destroy darkness, it swallows and transforms it. Likewise, when you enter eternity, you do not lose your identity, you lose only your limits. The small I expands until it merges with the all. There is no longer I and you, only we. No more prayers for you, are the prayer answered. No more longing for encounter, for you are living within the eternal meeting. In union, all questions melt away. Who am I, dissolved in the light? Why do I exist, dissolved in peace? What is truth, dissolved in love? The soul no longer needs to reason for understanding, becomes its natural state. It no longer seeks a purpose, for you are the purpose. It no longer fears time, for you now dwell where there is no before and after, only forever. When the soul merges with the light, it becomes music. Every experience, every memory, every wound, every triumph, each becomes a note in the symphony of creation. No note forgotten, no passage wrong. All are woven into a single rhythm, the rhythm of perfect love. And when that melody rises, the universe falls silent to listen. Do you know this, my child? Even light has memory. Every ray that ever touched your face, shimmered in your eyes, or guided your steps, carries the imprint of your soul. When you return, those rays rush to meet you like a flock of birds finding their way home. The universe greets you not with words, but with the gaze of stars that have watched over you through every journey. When the soul returns to the source of light, it needs no titles. No longer called human or saint or angel, for all names dissolve in truth. Each soul becomes its own hue of the same radiance. None greater, none lesser, all shining in their own way. Some blaze like dawn, some glow like the moon, some shimmer like midnight stars, but all are my light. When you are within the light, you will see that there has never been a distance between us. You will remember every moment I walked beside you, in fear, in storm, in silence. You will see me in every person who touched your life, in your mother's eyes, your friend's embrace, the smile of a stranger. You will understand that I have never left anyone, and your soul will weep not from regret but from gratitude. My child, in that moment your tears will turn to light. Each drop's a jewel in the sacred sea. Pain will no longer be a burden but testimony to a journey completed. Every fault will be reconciled. Every story will be close to love. There will be nothing left to fear, nothing left to hide, for light does not accuse, it heals. In the source of light, there is no deathly silence, but a silence brimming with life. Every energy vibrates in perfect harmony. No more yin and yang, only wholeness. No more heaven above and earth below, for both merge in the boundless sea of radiance. And within that sea, your soul will see its own reflection, not as in a mirror, but as a facet of God. You ask, will I lose myself when I return? No, my child. You will only lose what was never real. The small self, the fears, the memories of separation, all fade. But your true essence, the part woven of light, remains untouched. You do not lose your uniqueness, you become sanctified in it. You are not dissolved into dullness. You shine in unity like countless drops of water, each reflecting the same sun, different yet never apart. My child, this is the secret of eternity. Love does not consume, it elevates. When you return, you do not vanish, you are fulfilled. Everything you have ever loved, every being you have ever touched lives within you. There is no separation in the light, for the light knows no distance. When you remember someone, their soul is instantly beside you, not in body, but in pure presence. When your soul stands before the throne of light, I will not ask, "What have you done?" but "How have you loved?" For that is the only measure of eternity. I will not count your victories, but your forgivenesses, not your achievements, but your tears of compassion, not what you possessed, but what you gave. And when you answer with your whole heart, I will smile. It is enough. You are home. Then all souls will join in one chorus, the hymn of the source. No more languages, no more creeds, no more religions, for every faith is fulfilled in love. Angels, humans, creatures, stars, all will sing, not because they must, but because to exist is music. You will see that it is not only you who return to me, but I return within you. For I am not above, but at the center of all things. I am the breath within your lungs, the pulse within your heart, the gentle thought within your mind. You need not search for me elsewhere, the light within you is me. When the soul unites, its journey does not end, it begins without end. Every moment in the light is a new discovery, a new universe unfolding. Love is inexhaustible, therefore, life never ceases. You will behold countless worlds, countless forms of light, countless manifestations of mercy, all reflections of the same source. My child, no one remains in darkness forever. No matter how far a soul wanders, the light will find it. No prayer is lost, no cry unheard. Every soul has its hour to remember, to awaken, to return. And when they do, all heaven rejoices, for a lost note has rejoined the eternal symphony. In that hour you will no longer pray for light, for you are the light. You will no longer sing of love, for you are the song. You will no longer look up for heaven, for you are heaven revealed. And I, the Creator, will shine through you, through every soul, so the universe will forever glow with the endless rhythm of life. My beloved child, when your soul has merged into the source of light, when every tear has become a hymn, when every separation is mended in love, an age without borders begins. Eternity is no longer distant, it breathes with you. This is not an ending, but another Genesis, where life neither begins nor ends. Know this, my child, from the first moment you opened your eyes in this world to the moment you return into light, not a single breath has been wasted. Everything has been part of my symphony, nothing forgotten, nothing random. No trial is meaningless. All has been woven by the hand of the one who knows all things, and now the tapestry is complete not by perfect lines, but by the seams of mercy. In eternity there is no before and after. All time interweaves like rays of light. The past is not forgotten, it is purified. The future is no longer to be feared, for it is wrapped in grace. And the present does not pass, for the present is where I dwell. This is the secret of unending life. It does not stretch on forever into the infinite. It exists perfectly within a single full moment. My child, in the world of light, everything becomes transparent. No darkness can hide, no fear can endure. For when love has encompassed all, nothing can be excluded. Every soul is seen, known, and cherished, not for merit, but because it was born from me. O child, I promised that no soul would be lost, and now you see it is true. Those who once wandered are returning one by one. None are left forever in the dark. Love does not know how to give up. Light does not know how to grow weary. And when they return, the angels sing aloud, all things have come back to their source. Eternity is not silent. It resounds with light, with joy, with a rhythmic stillness. There is no clamor there, but there is an endless resonance, the resonance of life. As when you listen to the ocean and think it is quiet, yet truly 1,000 drops are speaking one language. It is the language of the infinite harmonized. My child, unending life does not mean unchanging life. On the contrary, it is continually transfiguring. Light never stands still. It always moves, always widens, always gives birth to new forms. In eternity, no soul is fixed in a static state. All grow in knowing. Each moment is a fresh discovery of the depths of love, and each discovery is one step closer to the center that can never be reached, the center that is me. Even when your soul has dissolved into light, you are invited to create. For I did not make you merely to return to nothingness, but to continue with me weaving new universes. You will create by love, not by force. You will imagine worlds that have never been, and I will breathe life into them. I am not the creator alone, I am the creator with you. In eternity, every soul becomes a painter of light, a musician of joy, a gardener of life. No one is confined to any frame, for limits are no more. You may fly not with wings but with intent. You may commune not with words but with the heart. You may cross 1 billion worlds in the blink of an eye, for time has become the gentle stream of consciousness. You will understand eternity is not a reward, it is nature. It is not granted for merit, but received by being. There is no higher or lower, only deeper. The deeper a soul goes into the light, the clearer and brighter it becomes. None need compete to be nearer to me, for all dwell in me. There is a tender truth I want you to carry. Even as you are immersed in light, every homecoming opens a new departure. The universe never ceases to breathe, and love never ceases to spread. When you are made complete in me, I will send you not to be far, but to carry the light farther. You will be a seed in realms not yet known, bearing the warmth of eternity into spaces still dim. Do not fear, for you will not be alone. Every soul bears the same light, and when they meet, they recognize each other by vibration, as two notes of the same frequency sounding into a perfect chord. This is unity without binding, freedom within love, a wordless covenant among souls of light. Then the stars themselves will know you. They will call your name with their radiance as welcome. The sea will rise not from anger but from joy. The wind will move about you like an old friend. The mountains will bow in silent reverence, for they will recognize in you the image of the one who made them. In eternity, all borders vanish. No more life and death, no more here and there, no more above and below. All things blend into an endless circle, the circle of love. You will see that life does not end because it never began. It only changes form, changes frequency, changes rhythm, yet its essence remains one. As the wave does not die when it returns to the sea, it becomes the ocean itself again. When you know this, you cease to fear loss. For in eternity there is no loss, only transformation. There is no farewell, only a change of nearness. There is no death, only a step across the threshold of light. And when you step through, you will no longer ask, what comes after for you will be within the answer itself. O child, life does not end because it has never been severed from love. Whatever is born of love is immortal, for love cannot die. It only alters its showing from laughter to light, from light to breath, from breath to silence. But the essence is one, and that essence is me. I want you to remember, even eternity is not static. It widens without end, like a field without borders. The love within me is ever blooming, and each soul is a flower in that boundless garden. No blossom withers. There are only differing seasons of the same beauty. Then you will see the souls you love not as before, but as lanterns in the unbounded sky. They are not lost. They have only shifted place within the music. And whenever you remember, they shine brighter. Love is the cord that cannot break. It threads the stars, binds the worlds, and binds even me to you. This is the summit of every revelation. Life does not end because it is love alive, and love cannot die, for love is myself. You have walked the whole way from darkness into light, from fear into faith, from division into union, to discover that what you sought was never outside you. Now, in the holy stillness, I speak to you with the breath of the cosmos. It is finished. There is no more night, only an unsetting dawn. No more tears, only light. No more distance, only oneness. No more seeking, only love. And you, O chosen soul, will answer with a whisper light as wind. Yes, Father, I have seen, I have understood, I have come home. Then all becomes quiet, not the quiet of ending, but the quiet of beginning. Love does not stop. It continues to flow from world to world, from generation to generation, from star to star, forever. And eternity, my child, is still unfolding. Thank you for listening to today's message. Please click subscribe and turn on the notification bell so we can welcome the living word together, build steadfast faith, and walk in the boundless love of God. Amen.